How do you stop economic nationalism morphing into something that is essentially racist?
I don't think economic nationalism has anything to do with race. In fact, what I keep saying here, it doesn't matter. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're about your religion. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, your color. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your sexual preference. All of that's totally irrelevant.
You say that, and I've watched lots of interviews, and I've watched people ask you or accuse you in various ways of being a racist, and there's no evidence that that's what you are. But do you understand what that group of people, the particularly disenfranchised white workers in America...
But the white workers are not racist.
How that turns into racism?
See, this is another thing. The white workers in this country are not racist. Do we have an element like tried to march here the other day? And how many guys showed up? 6. Well, my point is that it's such an infinitesimal... I come from the American South, okay? It's such an infinitesimal, small percentage of people, and they're only made important because the left media gives them a microphone. But the other day, we had thousands of police officers and hundreds of media, and 6 guys showed up, 20 guys showed up? It was nothing. It's a joke.
What happened a year ago was not a joke.
Well, what happened a year ago, and I've said this from day one, the neo-Confederates, the neo-Nazis, the KKK have no place in American society.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides.
You know what an unambiguous declaration against people wielding swastikas sounds like, and that's not what we heard.
President Trump has been adamant about that. He has condemned the neo-Nazis, condemned the KKK, he has condemned the neo-Confederates. You're hearing what your mainstream media, here's what they want to hear. They're never going to let Trump off the hook on this. They're just not going to do it. They're going to continue to pound that. But I got to tell you, as long as you don't take responsibility, the 2 things the mainstream media have done. Number 1, they've given a bunch of marginal, dangerous people a platform.
But you know how to harness their anger too, don't you? You've worked out a way to try and separate yourself and your views from them, but at the same time, their comments filled the Breitbart website.
You're missing the point. That anger is about economic. That anger is about the $880 billion to the $4.5 trillion. It's about the wealth. What it's about is a set of elites that took care of themselves and basically screwed over the American worker and the American middle class. The anger comes because people are rational. They look out there and they say, hey, it's my pension fund and my insurance company, my insurance policy, that's the underpinnings of Wall Street.
Do you understand what transforms that into racism when it happens? Because it does. We've seen people express it in racist...
You can beat this dog all day.
What you have seen is people with racist views cleave to your economic nationalist movement.
But it doesn't cleave. This is my point. It's such a de minimis... What the media always says, and you always go back to the same thing, aren't you worried about this 0.1% that when we put the cameras on them, say, oh yeah, we support that, versus the basics of the argument? Here's the argument. The Republican Party is being turned into a workers' party. The workers in this country are finally standing up for themselves. This movement's not going to stop. And it doesn't matter how many liberal journalists come in here and say, oh, this is a bunch of fascists, this is a bunch of Nazis, this is a bunch of racists.